Hello friends, in this video I will explain you how you can execute your WebDriver tests in Azure Cloud. So in previous video we have seen how to execute your test in WebDriver locally. In this video I will tell you how to do the same thing in cloud. So I have already pushed my repository in the Azure Cloud. If you don't know how to push your repository, then you can look up those instructions online, or in upcoming videos I will also cover that one, like how to import the repository in your Azure Cloud. But now for this video, note that I have already pushed that repository, and that this is how this repository look like. Here you can see there is a package.json file with all the dependencies in there. There is a configuration file for the WebDriver, and we have mentioned here Safari. So once this repository is here, what you have to do is you have to create the build for this repository. So you will find one create build button here, or if you can't find it, you can directly go to pipelines here and then create a new pipeline, build pipeline basically. Then in the first step you have to select your repo. So you can see it list on all the repositories that are there. You can select WebDriver IO, and then since this is Node.js project, I'm selecting Node.js task there, and YAML file will be created automatically. YAML file contains basically the steps that build agent needs to take, and by default you can see here it is first task is it will install the node. You can change the version of node like that, and in the next task it is using bash script. So npm install will install the dependencies, and here we don't want to run the build. What we want to do is execute the test. So npx wdio and then wdio.conf.js. so that's how you have to update this YAML file. I have already created the YAML file. I'll take you there directly instead of creating on the fly right now. So you can see this is the build pipeline for WebDriver. Edit button, you should be able to edit this pipeline. So you can see I will explain each and every component of this YAML file now. First one is trigger master. What it means is that whenever the master branch in the repository related to this build pipeline is updated, like somebody pushes to the master branch or something is merged from feature branch to master branch, at that point of time the automatically build will be executed. So that trigger we have mentioned, if you don't want, you can remove that, and in that case what will happen is you will have to manually trigger your build after you make some changes. Next important thing is pool. So here we are telling on what kind of virtual machine we want to execute the tests. Here we have selected Mac OS latest. That means I want to run tests on Mac OS operating system. But if you want to do it on Windows, you can just replace this by Windows, or if you want to do it on Ubuntu, you can use Ubuntu there, and it will launch that type of VM for us. Then in the steps, the first step is we want to install the Node.js, and here I have mentioned Node.js version that is 12. By default it was taking 10, but I'm interested in 12, so I have put the 12 there. Next thing is we want to execute the test. So before that I have to install dependencies, so that's why that command is there. Then this will actually execute our tests, npx wdio, and finally I'm printing the report.xml file as well, because our tests are gonna create the report.xml file. So I'm just printing it here because I was getting one error earlier when I was running the test in parallel. That's why for the debug purpose I put, but if you don't want, you can remove that. And finally, this is a very important task. Here we are publishing our test results. By default it will not publish the test results, so you have to add that task to publish test results. And here the inputs to this task are, we are telling this is JUnit report, and our results file are in the XML format. So that's it. Just save it, and then you can run this one. So automatically when you make some changes in that YAML file, the build is triggered, and you can see it is queued. the test execution will happen now here. So earlier what I was doing is I was executing the tests on Windows agent and Ubuntu agent as well, but I was getting some error, and when I used the Mac OS agent, the tests were working fine. So if you face any issues in execution in cloud, change the agent or change the Node.js version, and then most probably your issue will be fixed. So you can see the test execution is finished, and all the steps are passing. You can see here in the tests tab, it is also showing our results as well. And here, so if you select passed here, you can see there is one test that was executed. So that is how we can execute our tests in Azure Cloud. Thanks for watching this video.